My life before I came to Reset, I was in a very bad place. I'd done a lot of bad things, just said a lot of hurtful things, stole. I don't know, man, I was lost, man. I was really lost. Ended up having to go to jail for 50 days because I never wanted to do the recovery program that they assigned me for court. Man, I was evil. Like, I was hateful, spiteful. I wanted everybody to feel my pain, my misery.
He had threatened our lives, and we were in fear for our lives many nights, and it was a sense of relief when he was in jail and incarcerated.
It was a nightmare, a living nightmare.
Coming from a rough past, a place where drugs consumed me, over my newborn daughter, over myself, I needed a direction to turn to, and when I heard about Reset, it just sounded like the ticket, and I came here.
Before he was in Reset House, it was very bad. Just no hope. There was no hope, there was no rhyme or reason.
The low point in my life was basically my family walking away from me. I didn't have a job. I was in the penitentiary. I had lost everything.
My son Eric, before he came to Reset Ministries, was in a very bad place. Not knowing if he was going to be alive from one day to the next. Into a lot of illegal activity. Never cared if he woke up, never cared about life in general, day after day after day. He was on a path of total self-destruction.
Yeah, we were able to sleep at night for the first couple of weeks, but then we started to begin to think, well, now where do we go now? God orchestrated from the beginning his arrest, is in jail. I met Chris Coleman, who I didn't know a year ago. He introduced us to Reset. Reset came, and I didn't know what Reset was. I brought him over here, and then I began to see how it worked. You begin to slowly, nudge him into the ways of Christ.
When he got into Reset, it was like there was hope.
We're both not married, not engaged, and Alethea came. Now Alethea is beautiful, but Travis was at a really low point at that time, and we couldn't celebrate really. And I was a single mom. I couldn't rely on him, and our family, even his face was just bad news.
There's no pain, there's nothing I can lose that matched that emotional downfall when I couldn't be there for my family.
It was difficult. It was difficult to watch her and to know how worried she was, and how much she wanted Travis to be a part of her and Alethea's life.
I know when he moved back from Colorado and he came home, I opened the door and saw about an 80-pound man, not recognizing my son. The lows have just been one time after another until Reset came into his life, and he has found God through Reset Ministry and definitely made his life so much better, and also the tools that he's been given to make his life better through Reset Ministries.
The high point of my journey actually is I have a relationship with God. I know that God has done a lot of work in my life. I know that God continues to work in my life, and I know that the future is bright. There's going to be a lot of things in the future for me to look forward to, and to be honest, there was a point in my life where I was very hopeless.
The most significant change I've seen since I've been here in the house and done this process is pretty much my whole demeanor. Everything about me, the way I think, the way I act. I think the first thing I noticed was my way of thinking, just Like I noticed, like, when we first came in, the first thing I did was kind of really jump into the storybook, and that really kind of started opening my eyes to kind of the relationship, that God had with His people, and praying a lot. I started praying a lot. I prayed before I left, jail, like, and then when I came here, it became a bigger part of my life, and just trying to keep doing the things you guys suggested, which was something I never did before. I never did what anybody suggested.
Reset just brought him back in. It's like, it's honest to goodness, it's like my child. And he's not a child, he's a man, but I'm his mother and he's my child. And he's back. And he's healthy, and he's quick-witted, he's dressing, he's cutting his hair. He's back.
I remember the first time I started falling back in love with him was he came to me and he told me about God. And he was telling me that he had something to live for. It was so weird because once he said that, I started falling back in love with him. I don't want to do that. And I just remember after that I had a talk with my sponsor, and I said, I'm falling in love with this guy again. And I started going to the Bible study after that.
Wrestles with his daughter. He takes care of his wife. He caused me to buy this sticker that I never thought. I do love someone who's in recovery, and I'm proud of that.
When he comes to visit me, the hug is so genuine and just so enlightening to me as a mother and to all of his brothers and his sister. We are just so grateful to have Eric back.
Now that after coming through the house, the things that I've gone through here have not only trained me to be a dad, but also helped me to enjoy it, helped me capture that moment of getting to play with my daughter as she runs around and I could be there. The high point was undoubtedly our wedding day. It was beautiful, it was perfect, I couldn't have asked for anything better. We were so blessed to have an outside wedding that went so smooth as it did and to have as much support as we did.
He was free. He was free from all the burdens, all the everything that he was able to let go of and get renewed.
I have my life back.
I have my son back.
I have my life back.
I am Marion Howard. I am Thomas Howard's mother, and I have my son back.
I am Thomas Howard Sr., and I have Thomas Howard Jr. back.
We have our son-in-law back.
As a result of coming through Reset, I have my life back today.
I have the love of my life back.